What drew me to Charles Duncan's abstraction landscape was that it reminded me of an assignment I had to do in the 11th grade. The assignment was the landscape piece. Each student was required to find a landscape image online and paint it in their own way. Up until this point, I mainly painted what I saw. If something was brown, I tried to match the color. This all changed in the 11th grade, when I started taking a painting class. My teacher, Rex Deloney, encouraged us to try different color schemes. Mr. Deloney used his works as an example from time to time. In his paintings, he rarely painted the world the way we see it. The people and animals in his paintings could be blue, orange, or any other color. We weren't supposed to just draw realistically. You were supposed to draw with emotion and express it in your paintings. Unfortunately, in the assignment, I just focused on objects and making them perfect. I didn't focus on expressing myself. After painting the moon, my teacher came up to me and complimented on how I duplicated the picture into the painting. However, he explained how it wasn't what he wanted. He asked that I step out of my comfort zone and change some of the coloring of the objects. I paused for a moment and just stared at my unfinished painting. The tree in front of the moon looked spiky and scary, and Halloween was around the corner. The tree was supposed to be sitting on a small island, and I decided to make the water around the island blood red. Changing the color ended up not being as hard as I thought. In fact, I believe it helped me advance as an artist. Duncan's abstraction landscape reminds me of this assignment because the artist didn't just paint what he saw, he painted what he felt. His piece is a landscape. You don't see any trees, hills, or bushes. The painting consists mostly of shapes and colors because it's abstract. However, you can still tell it's a landscape, and that's talent. Because I immediately had emotional connection to the piece and the artist, I was obviously excited to see it in person. I loved it more in person than online. After taking in the painting, I looked around the room. I wondered why society shifted from valuing art that was realistic into valuing expressive art instead. One of the Crystal Bridge employees must have seen my confused expression because he came up to me and asked if I had a question. I told him what my observation was, and he explained to me that at the end of the 19th century, the camera was invented. And with the camera, people didn't need artists to paint their portraits anymore. All they needed was a photographer. This led to society wondering if artists were still necessary. It was around this point that artists started to shift towards expression and abstraction. Through the years, art has changed its meaning. At first, it was just imitating what you see onto paper. Then art made a shift towards expression and abstraction. I really like Duncan's abstraction landscape because it's a painting that I can connect to because I've done an expressive landscape piece too. My overall Crystal Bridges experience reminded me of what I love most about art and about being an artist. I'm grateful of this because in my current art class, we just focus on getting the objects right. We don't really focus on expression, and I know I'm just in a beginner's class, and in future classes I'll have more artistic freedom, but it makes it hard to remember why you loved art in the first place. My experience at Crystal Bridges helped me remember that what I love about art is that hundreds of people can paint the same subject, but each will look different not because of talent, but because of expression. Each artist is making it their own.